Hi there. For those of you on Periscope, yesterday you may have noticed that I did a Periscope, or a scope as they're calling it, and it didn't go so well. I was walking the dog and I basically decided to do a quick 3 top tips for finding creative ideas. Anyway, I didn't know if people were actually following me or talking to me or even online, and I got a little bit muddled up with words and stuff, and I decided just to end the Periscope. So new technology and all that kind of thing, we've all got to try it and push ourselves out there, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's okay. So today I thought I'd share those top tips with you in a blog post, or do a video blog for your vlog, whatever you want to call it. So one of the things that I think is really important in our businesses is we have to keep coming up with content, and at times that can be really challenging. So I thought I'd share my 3 top tips for you. So the first one is actually just give your brain a break. You know, we have so much information sent to us, bombarded with it constantly on social media and that kind of thing. And your brain just sometimes needs a rest. I used to make handmade cards and be part of some design team blogs. So what you had to do was showcase some of the products, you had deadlines that you had to meet, and you had to keep coming up with fresh ideas. So very much on the creative side of things. And what I found was when I walked off, having got nowhere, because I couldn't come up with whatever it was they needed, I would take a complete break, do something completely different. It might have been cook roast chicken, or go out in the garden, or do something completely different, and then come back to that project. It worked much better. And what I found is that the same thing applies to my coaching business. If it's not happening, it's better just to walk away. So find somewhere that you get really creative. So for me, I love to walk down by the river, or just walk my dog in general. It really seems to generate ideas. So being out in nature is a big one for me. It might be taking a bath, it might be going to do the dishes, it might be phone a friend, or rant about world issues, or whatever it is that actually floats your boat and gets you out of that mindset of I'm stuck, I can't do this, I need to come up with something, and it's not happening. So think about ways that you are the most creative. Because if you think about it, our best ideas come to us when we're in the shower, or when we're washing dishes, or doing something completely unrelated. It might be you're sitting on the beach reading a novel, and all of a sudden some new business idea pops up in your head. So use that as your creativity. And with neuroscience, we know that there's a phase of restful activity, and that's when our brains are still thinking about things, but we're actually taking a break from the bigger stuff that we're working on. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is basically bring a notebook with you. So when you're out and about, have a little notebook with you in your pocket, in your purse, that you can then write down some of those ideas. Because what happens is we get some creative ideas. It might be that you're looking in a shop window and something triggers you, or you see perhaps, a family, and that creates some kind of relationship post, or something that you've noticed about that family that's triggered some ideas. Could be lots of different things that come up for you, but then you get home and you completely forget about it. So just even if you're capturing a couple of words, that can be really useful. And really, do you need an excuse for a new notebook? I definitely don't need any excuses. And my latest thing is washi tape, which I shall show you. Actually, I'll show you now. So washi tape is my new thing. What you do is you have your notebooks, and you have different coloured tape that you stick down the side, and it's literally fancy sellotape really, and then you stick it down the side of your page. I just love it. Look at the lovely colours. Anyway, I digress. So think about some of those things that you could capture when you're out and about. So go and grab yourself a notebook, and then you can keep them with you. And then the third one is reading a lot from other people. There is a lot of information out there, and it's not about copying, because I'm absolutely not about copying. But what can happen is you'll read one particular person's comment about something, and it will trigger something. It might be the complete opposite, or it might be that it sets you off in a completely different path. It only has to be one word or even one sentence that then triggers that creativity. So what do you do when everything else fails? Well, I've got a blog post about writer's block, but one thing that I find really helpful, which I came across by accident, was hypnotherapy. And basically, I'd been listening to a track, and I can't even remember what it was on now, but it was nothing to do with creativity. It might have been one like financial abundance or something like that. Anyway, on this track, I'd listen to it each night. So I put it on when I went to bed, and I was listening to it each night. I might have even been asleep on, I can't remember. Probably not. And it was each morning I'd wake up and I'd be so buzzing with ideas, and it got to the point, this had been going on a couple of weeks, and I thought, I can't take any more ideas. I don't know what's happening here, but I really need to stop my brain from working so hard. Anyway, one particular night I couldn't sleep, and I listened to all of the words of this particular track, and the one that stood out for me the most was, you will find creative ideas everywhere you go. You know, ideas will pop out from you from everywhere. And then I thought, it's this hypnotherapy track that's given me all these creative ideas. So if all else fails, find a track that comes up with something similar, and that will give you that boost that you need. But seriously though, there are a lot of other ways that you can do it. So I hope you found these 3 top tips useful. So number 1 is, you know, take a break, give your brain a break. Number 2, keep a notebook with you. And number 3, just read around, and it could be you're reading around something non-related to what you're doing. Again, it just might trigger some ideas. So I hope that's been really useful to you, and hopefully a lot better than the Periscope yesterday. So until next time, ciao for now.